Alright guys, we're back with another video. So, title speaks for itself. We're going to talk about how to nerf Johnny Cage now. So, I know I said in the rated video, but actually I was wrong. This is the king of uninteractivity right here, this character. Johnny Cage, as far as I'm concerned, is a walking block infinite. The risk reward on this character is so absurd compared to even everyone else in the game. I don't understand how he passed a testing phase at all. So I want to talk about this, and I think it's important to talk about nerfing this character because we do not want more of this character in the game in the future. We do not want characters that play like this. No one enjoys blocking for 10 minutes to get a down one and then maybe get some kind of momentum back, but probably not. Right? I think most people could agree with that idea. So there's two ways to nerf this character. You either have to nerf his fundamental aspects, which his movement, his damage, things like that, or you attack him from the angle of you restructure the way his pressure works. I'm kind of tempted to do the latter, which I'll explain, but let's cover both. So, option one, if you were to nerf this character, first of all, his block dash has got to go. This character needs to have shitty movement, like the worst movement imaginable, like to the point where it's like reptile. This character needs to have reptile tier block dash movement. He gets it too easily. He's basically teleporting across the screen for free. There's no way to reliably stop him from doing this. And he already has a move that is supposed to be used for the purposes of getting in, which is Shadow Dash. Shadow Dash is supposed to be how he gets in on you. They said this during the combat cast. And I kind of, would be easier to keep it in line with what they intended. So that's the first thing. He maybe should lose his block dash entirely. He should just not be able to do it. And then I would give me a second to think on this. Well, we got to talk about the parry too. The parry is it's a scrub move. This move right here is a scrub move. So it's a scrub move purely because the reward is too high and it's too fast. It intercepts too many gaps in this game. There are so many characters that just cannot do anything when they actually get their turn against this character. So let's see how fast this is. So it's a this is a 2-frame startup parry. Let's actually see if the counter says something different. Well, it doesn't say, but so I guess what it's saying, it's saying that I assume the parry is active at frame 2. This is why you can use this in every gap in the game and full combo punish every gap in the game and things like that, including things you probably shouldn't be able to punish. So another thing that should be done is this parry startup should go from 2 to 8 or 10. That means that it would have to be used more selectively if he was going to use this. And it would prevent, it wouldn't gut the move, it would still be good, still a good parry. And I kind of think there should be a damage bonus if you hit this with lows. It doesn't parry lows. That's a way to blow it up, but because it's such a momentum stopper and it's such high reward for him, I think there should be additional penalty if he gets red for doing this. So I would even make it so that if he does this parry, and like I'm playing smoke, and you do forward 3-2 to blow him up for doing it, I think you should get 25% damage buff for whatever you hit him with. Whether it's a sweep, combo, whatever. This parry should have way more risk attached to it for as strong as it is. Or it needs to be slowed down to make it like less universally applicable across everything in the game. So those two things alone, they kind of do put this character more into perspective, in my opinion, and they prevent him from like being as toxic as he currently is without nerfing what's fun about him. So that's way one. Gut his block dash movement and force him to have to use shadow dash to cover ground, and make the parry receive bonus damage if it gets hit with a low, or slow it down drastically to like 8 to 10 frames to the point of parry impact instead of 2. But way 2 is probably more practical for NRS, and it's easier, and it doesn't really... like, they still get to have their busted movement, but it wouldn't be so busted because what I'm about to do is restructure his pressure so it's less brain dead for him. Like, the problem with this character is, like, I don't mind a pressure character like this, but the problem is he doesn't have to use a lot of different options to do that. So here's what I think I want to do to this character. This is actually my opinion. What I said earlier was kind of what a majority of people have said. So first of all, the problem is that if this gets blocked, this is guaranteed. Just absolutely. This isn't so bad in principle, but it is kind of a problem when you combine it with having a mid that it perfectly jails. So at one point, I thought, well, you should just take away the plus frames from 1-1 because he has stand 2, which is already +4, right? So you just take away the plus frames from 1-1. He doesn't really need to have them here. But another change I would be amenable to, if you wanted to keep these plus frames on this, is you need to make this -8 if it gets flawless blocked. So that is the thing I've thought about before, is if you can make it so that when this is flawless blocked on the second hit, it is actually punishable, so that he has to mix up like... So you have to do this or you do this to get his turn, right? So that's one thing I would do. And then it would force him to also have to do 1-1-2 or 1-1-4 more often, like actually use these strings, because he could not just autopilot off 1-1 anymore. So that's like the first big change I would make, is I would make this -8 or 9 on a flawless block on the second hit, so that he can't just autopilot this, and he has to sometimes mix it up with like doing stand 2 after a jab on block or something like that. Other thing I would do is, since I'm kind of like trying to reallocate where his pressure is coming from, stand 2, this +4 has got to go. It's got to be +2 on block. I'm pretty sure if you are +2 and do a 7-frame move in this game, I think you just win. I don't think there's trades that equal frame data in this game. If anyone else knows and can help tell me if that's true. I would appreciate it, but yeah, I think that would be all right. So you make this +2 instead of +4, and then you make this -9, let's say, on flawless block, so that he has to worry about being predictable with his offense. The next thing I would do, and this is a big one for me that I find really annoying, and it kind of it enables the things that with Cyrax that are kind of annoying. 214 here should just not be special cancelable. Just take it away. As a matter of fact, you should just make 2144 a committal dial-in string. So they can't even do 214. They have to do 2144 and then make it so the 214 point is not special cancelable. This eliminates the Cyrax autopilot. Still keeps, the game plan there if that's how you want to play Johnny. It doesn't ruin it. But this is a big problem, is that he can just do this and fish with Rising Star with Cyrax behind him. So he's just fishing with launchers over and over and over. They work mirrorlessly, by the way, because of Cyrax. So, that's the other thing I would do. I would make 214 not special cancelable at that point, the string, and then just make 2144 full Camille dial-in string. You can't even, stagger this. It's either 2-1 or nothing, or 2-1-2. I think that would do a lot for this character. I'd be curious to see what you guys think about, like, what you would personally do. So, that's my opinion. You either gut his movement and you make the parry much slower, or make 1-1 punishable on flawless block, make stand 2 +2 instead of +4. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about the trades thing. If I am, then +3, that's fine. I don't care. This jails into the mid. The problem is, like, there's just too many mind games off 1-1 with no risk. So if he had to, like, finish the string and definitively lose his turn, potentially, or if he had to, like, go for more plus frames by doing this, that would be better. That would make this character more fair, in my opinion. And honestly, yeah, and then 214 can't special cancel it anymore, and then 2144 you have to commit to it. And that, to me, solves this character. Doesn't gut him, keeps him playing pretty much exactly the same, but he can't, he can't just steamroll you completely one-sided. He has to risk, like, if he wants the plus frames off this, he has to risk possibly getting punished, so has to mix up his options more, which means that you get to mix up your options more on defense, which means you have more openings against this character. I guess there's the third way, though, to nerf this character. We could talk about the third way. The third way is pretty simple, but even with how strong he is standing up, it might be too much. But it might be fair, and it would give him a dynamic of being a character of its streams. The third option is he just loses all invincibility and all armor. So, no invincibility on Nut Punch, it's just gone. And no armor on Shadow Kick, it's just gone. That would, in like a very galvanizing kind of way, it would definitely bring him down a few notches. If this character's dynamic, it could be turned to he has the best offense in the game and the worst defense. That would be like another route that they could go with this. So there's a third route to consider. No armor on EX Shadow Kick, and no invincibility on Nut Punch on Wake Up. Just take away all of his defensive options. But you can leave his offense the same. So those are my ideas about what to do about Johnny Cage in the game right now. As usual, let me know if you agree or disagree. Tell me what your opinions are. But I think those three things, I don't want to mix any of those, just one of those three sets of ideas to nerf this character would do. Any one of them. But if I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually personally kind of partial to the last one of taking away all his defensive options. Because that doesn't change what he does to you on offense, which is, his specialty. And the crazy movement he has would be fine, because it would be a way of compensating for the fact that he's a lame duck if he gets knocked down, right? If he doesn't have any wake-up options whatsoever. So I think that's it for this video. Comment, like, subscribe, all that. Let me know what maybe other kinds of content you'd like to see for the channel and all that stuff. But share your opinions about this, because you know how these Johnny Cage mains are, man. They're perpetual victims. They always think that they're like being picked on in some way, except for a few. Like, I give Mike Metroid a shout out for the fact that he actually knows this character is top tier and he admits it. But a lot of Johnny mains, they really want to pretend like this character is honest, which is hilarious. Between this video and the last one, you're probably also going to notice I'm saying nothing about Cyrax here, or that Cyrax needs this or that. I don't think Cyrax needs any changing. It's the characters, they're synergizing with the best that need changing. And the real issue is that those characters would play the exact same way with any other ambush lockdown assist besides Cyrax. It's just facts. So in my opinion, I think my cat just knocked over something. But so in my opinion, this is the three ways that you deal with this character. Either take away his movement and gut the parry, or take away his invincible nut punch and his armored shadow kick, or make this full combo punishable on a flawless block, reduce this down to +2 or 3, whatever allows him to jail the forward 3, but it needs to be tighter, right? And then take away the ability to special cancel this period. Any one of those three things would do a lot against this character, in my opinion, and then we'd be fine. But this is definitely, in my opinion, Johnny's the best character in the game. He's just the best. He literally is taking away the ability for you to play for 60 to 90 seconds on the clock on average. And that's just not good design. It's not fun for anyone to fight because there's no back and forth, Also, I would take away this too. He doesn't need a +4 block jab either. So I would make this -7, just a definitive turn loss if he staggers this. If he wants to do something, he has to do this. But this shouldn't be plus either. Just take this away. So that's my takes on how you nerf Johnny Cage. Let me know what you think.